Happy Sunday, guys. Welcome to Dough and Discipline. I am your host for today, a mom of two boys, a wife of 17 plus years, and a fanatic who loves all things budgeting. So today we're going to do a little Sunday fun day. So we're going to do a little gameplay today. And I hope that you guys are at home, relaxing, preparing for your work or school week for your children. And we're just going to have a little fun. I'm not here to keep you for a long time, only a good time. So we're going to start with our game binder today. We're going to count our funds first and we'll get started. 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, 95, 200, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And I'm not going to count all these ones, but we have 20 ones. So today we're playing with a total of $250. Now we're going to do a gameplay first. Then we're going to transition over to our 100 envelope challenge. And you guys will see some of the smaller challenges that we're using to feed that particular large challenge for us. All right, so let's get started. Sorry about the noise, guys. Those are my accessories that are a little clingy. All right, so we're gonna start our play with Fruit Machine. And so I'm gonna move this up some. And I'm gonna see the best setup for this. Okay, that could work. So we're gonna start our gameplay with Fruit Machine by Ready, Budget, Go. Everybody knows Drew, Mr. 40 himself. And so in addition to our gameplay for Fruit Machine, I also have some stretch offs from Drew that I always do as well. I'll show you the other, even though we're not going to complete it today. So this was our first stretch off from Drew, and it's the Elephantastic. I've already completed one side, and we'll do the other side at another time. Today, we're gonna start our Utterly Fabulous. And again, these challenges are double-sided, and so what I try to do is do a stretch off each time I do Fruit Machine as well. Now, full disclaimer, I do not have Cute Machine yet. And that is because I feel as though I want to thoroughly enjoy Fruit Machine first. I just want to make sure that I have done my due diligence with enjoying that game first. All right, so I've got my instructional card here. So for those of you who don't know, we have 3 wonderful dice that come with the game. We're going to roll the dice and we can re-roll up to 3 times. We're hoping to get a pair to save tons of money. If not, we will save a $1 amount if we don't get a pair. And so now I've got to take a brief moment because I've lost one of the dice. So if you guys just give me 1 second. All right, I have successfully retrieved all of the dice. All right, so let's go. All right, so we have 2 plums and a diamond. So I'm gonna go for our plums. If we get 3, it'll be $5. So let's roll 3 times, see if we can get it. 1, 2, got it. 3 in a row, guys. All right. So that's gonna be our first 5. All right, let's go again. This time, let's go for our lemon, okay? See if we can get some lemons. 1, nope. 2, all right. Last try. Can we get it? No,
Lose.
That's on the fix, but we owe $1. So we're gonna do our 3rd and final roll before we do our stretch off. All right, let's go for the diamond. 1, boom. Your girl is on fire. 3 diamonds, and we owe a whopping $10. And so just to show you so that you can see, it's a nice little card that comes with the game that lets you know what you owe. Now, of course, you can modify this to fit your budget, but I am going to pay Drew his money today. Psych, my money. All right, so we have done our 3 rolls of Fruit Machine, and now I'm gonna go ahead before we transition to the next game, and we're gonna do our stretch off, okay? And so again, this is gonna be our utterly fabulous stretch off. All right, guys, we're gonna choose 2 to stretch off. All right, we've got a 3. And a 2. So we're gonna do a quick cleanup. And then we're gonna add our 5 back to the binder. All right, so in total, let's get our card situated. In total, in Fruit Machine, we have 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, $86. $86. And before I actually empty this envelope, I intend to complete both sides of the stretch off and then play the game. So I will play the game up until both sides of the stretch offs are completed, and then we will transition, and hopefully I'll have enough in my shop small to buy a cute machine. All right, and I'm gonna take this out to make it a little bit easier. So our next game comes from Budget Your Life, and that is gonna be Mrs. Eva, and I'm gonna readjust you guys just to make sure you've got a great view. All right, so this is our Save with My Friends game, okay? And so there is a special die that comes with this game. And so our die has a shark, a truck, a rock, a pterodactyl, I'm assuming, Coke Zero, and dice. So what we're going to do is we are going to roll the die to figure out which area we're going to cross out, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and sit this here. All right, so shark. Our shark area is already filled up, so let's go again. All right, our dice area also filled up. All right, so we have our rock area. So we've got several that we can do in our rock area, okay? So I'm gonna now use our 1 and 2 die to determine how many we're gonna cross off. All right, so we're gonna cross off 1 in that area, okay? And so I'm gonna choose 2. All right, so far we owe it $2. Let's go again. All right, so we have our rock and we're gonna cross off 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and cross out the other 2 and the final 2. So we're gonna pay $6. And I forgot, guys, this is our friend. His name is Petey. All right, so we're gonna add a total of $6 to our Save with Friends from Budget Your Life. And all together with Save with Friends, we have 10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 41, 42, $42. All right, let's straighten out our money a little bit. So what are you guys up to on this Sunday afternoon? Are you guys doing laundry? Are you sitting with your feet kicked up? What is it that you're doing? All right, so next we're gonna play Quack the Code, and we're also gonna do our sticker challenge. We're gonna start it at least, okay? All right, so we're gonna shift this up. And I'm gonna bring our lovely budget book. I'll shift this completely out of the way. All right, let's get you guys a good visual. There we go. All right, so we're gonna play Quack the Code saving games, okay? So it basically lets us know that we can roll 2, 3, or 4 D4 dice to play Quack the Code. If you roll the number shown by each key, you have quacked the code. All right, so 2, 3, or 4 D4 dice. All right, so I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna have a D4, and I'm gonna have a D6. You guys think that'll work? Let's see if it works. All right, so let's go. Let's see. All right, so we have a 5 and a 2, which is 7. All right, so we did not quack the code. All right, so if we did not quack the code, we have to save 2 times the total of the key code, which is 7 times 2, which is a whopping $14. Oh my goodness. They're trying to break me. All right, so give me 1 second. All right, so we've grabbed our pen And we're gonna write in our 14, 1, 4. We're also gonna do, our Quack the Code is by Pink Plum Budgeting. And this was an entry into the Bajan Girl Budgets duck competition. So now we're also gonna do one sticker from our Savings Creation Code duck matchup. And we're gonna do a lower denomination sticker since we had to pay $14 already. So we're gonna do, let's see. I'm gonna go for a Painter Pablo at $5. All right, guys, give me a minute. We gotta be careful with our sticker. All right, so we all Quack the Code a whopping $19, and I may just give it a 20. All right, so let's get our binder. And we're gonna put our 20 in. And we are going to take our sticker challenge and put that back as well. So just wanted to let you guys know that behind the scenes, I'm just having a great time. I've had dice fall on the floor, a little money shower, all my ones went everywhere. It is just a time to be had in here on this Sunday. All right, so now we are at our Disney 100 mini challenges. Now, I don't have all 100. I did, however, print out 25 to complete for both of my boys for their 529C college accounts. So I've already completed 1 through 4. I've also completed 5. So today, from page 2, I am going to complete 1. Let's see. I'm going to use a D4. And it's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so this challenge is by Steps on a Budget. And I'm going to go ahead and complete the entire card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, now to be able to get it back down in here, the struggle is real, but we can make it work. Almost. All right, let's get our card back. I'm really interested to know how much money I will save doing the first 25. And then that'll let me know if I should keep going even further. All right, so the final thing that we're gonna do in our game binder is just gonna be our Out of This World envelope stretch off. I do have this in the binder, and it's just something fun that I do. And these are monies that will be used later in the year, in the fall, for my boys for Halloween time and special out of this world birthday surprises. They both have later birthdays, one in October and one in November, followed by their awesome mom who has a birthday in December. So that is 3. I'll keep going. And that is 6. So that is $9. And I'm gonna do a quick cleanup. And this is from Debt Free by 43. So I'm gonna make change first before I put the 9 in. I may have enough dollars, so I'm just going, I think I have enough dollars, so I'm not gonna do the change. All right, so now in our Out of This World envelope, we have 10, 15, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. And so this envelope is nice and easy. We're not in a rush to complete it. I just try to make sure that we hit it whenever we're in this binder. All right. So that's all for our game binder. And now we're going to transition to our 100 envelope challenge. All right, guys, so for our 100 envelope challenge, we use various book challenges and stretch offs to feed our binder. We have a very lofty goal. Our goal is to complete the 100 envelope challenge using only 100 or $50 increments in each envelope or sleeve. Okay? All right, so we have a couple of challenges that we're using to feed money into this. So we have our Harry Potter. This is from the Budgeting Introvert, and it's Hoarding at Hogwarts. We have Saving is My Jam from April's Fresh Start, and we also have some random stretch offs. We have The Budgeted Life with Jumpstart 2026, and that is a savings book. And last but certainly not least, we have our amazing book from Danny, our Save 2026 and 2026 from Craft Co Budgets. So those are all of the books that we're using to reach our goal to feed into our 100 envelope challenge. So we're gonna start off with our Harry Potter challenges, okay? All right, so this particular book, you have a D12, and I'm grabbing my die. And so the D12 lets you know what page you go to, okay? So we're gonna roll. All right, let's do a better roll than that. All right, page 3. The pages are numbered. 1, 2, and we're gonna go to page 3. This is the page that we have not been to yet, okay? And then we're gonna take a D6 dice to determine which stretch off we would need to uncover. All right, we got 1. And that is 16. And I have my calculator here on the side to keep up with the tally. Back to our D12. Okay, page 3 again. And we have 6. and that is 15. All right, so for our Harry Potter challenge, we are going to add $31. And I would typically put the money inside the envelope, which holds other cute Harry Potter challenges. However, I do know that we're going to already feed money into our binder today, so I'm just going to let it be out for now. All right, now we have our savings is my jam book, okay? And since it has to do with like jams and different things, I thought it would be very cute to pair it with Winnie the Pooh and have a nice Pooh Bear challenge. This is a Pooh Bear challenge from Doodle Dollars, okay? All right, so before I do the stretch off, I'll just show you guys the book just so that you know what it looks like. This is the Savings is My Jam book. And again, this is from Rainy Day April. So that is the book, and those were some of the challenges if we choose to use the book. Today we aren't going to use the book, but we are going to use our Pooh Bear challenge to stretch off a few. All right, Pooh Bear. I'm going to use our D6 to figure out how many we're going to stretch. Let's see. 3. All right. 3, 6, and 2. We have $11 that we're going to be adding to this envelope. Not too bad. Quick cleanup. All right. So we're going to grab a 10 and a 1. And once again, since we are going to be consolidating some money for our binder, I'm not going to place it back in the envelope. I'm just going to have the money on the outside until we figure out what we're going to do in our 100 envelope binder. All right, now we're going to move on to our Jumpstart 2026. And I'll show you the front so you'll know what the book actually looks like. This is the front cover. And this is the challenge that we're going to do today. It is called the Great Budgelini. So we are going to have some voila magic. All right, so it basically indicates that our magician is trying to find his rabbit. There are 3 rabbits that are hidden. For each rabbit, you have to save $5. For all others found, you save $2, okay? All right, so I don't know where these rabbits are at, but let's see. I'm gonna get, since this is kind of low denomination, I'm going to get another dice to pair to just add, give it a little boost. All right. All right, so I'm gonna roll out D6 just to count which ones we're gonna stretch, okay? All right, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so there is no rabbit. That means that we would save $2 plus 1, so that'll be 3. All right, we're gonna go again. 2, 1, 2. Nice little bluebird. No rabbit though. So again, that's gonna be another $2. And we're gonna add, uh-oh, my die went flying. Let's try this again. 2, so it'll be $4. All right, let's try it one more time to get a rabbit. 3, 1, 2, 3. Voila, magic. Your girl has the magic touch. We got a little rabbit. There you are, Mr. Rabbit. And now we're gonna add 2 to the 5, which equals 7. So in total, for the Great Budgelini, we're gonna add $14. So you guys, I'm going to do a quick cleanup. All right, cleanup done, and now we're gonna add the 14. All right, so we're gonna shift gears. Once again, you guys know the pattern. I'm gonna put the money on the outside and not inside the envelope, simply because we're gonna be consolidating. Now we're gonna go to our challenge from Danny at Craft Co Budgets. And we were working on the butterfly page the last time we were in here. We've already completed our peace sign. And so sorry for the crinkles. Let me get my stickers out. All right, so first, we're gonna start with all the 9s. One. 2. 3. 9. We have one more 9. 4. 'All right, so we've done all the 9s. We're up to $36. Let's go ahead and see if we can knock out these 8s. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do the whole page or not, but we'll see. 8. Okay. We have another 8. And this book just has such wonderful illustrations. All right, so we're up to 52. All right, so let me start pulling money to see where we're at. 40, 50. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do the 7s. All right, 1. Sorry, I'm not talking, guys. This requires concentration. All right, another 7. Last 7. All right, we're up to 73. All right, now for the 6s. 1, 2, 3. Wait a minute. So looks like I'm missing a sticker. All right, 6. Plus 6, it's 85. All right, and the last 6. I might put another sticker differently. But anyway, we've completed this. So we have added a total of $20, $40, $60, $80, $85, $90, $91. Awesome. All right, guys, time for some consolidation. Here we have our 100 envelope challenge. This binder was purchased from Hot Beauty Budgets, your girl Portia cousin. And so one of the decorative pieces that she placed in it says, every little bit counts. So rather than looking for one big way to save a ton of money, save in lots of small ways and set yourself up for success. And so that's what we have been doing. So we have been using different challenge books to fund this goal of ours. At this point in time, we are up to, let's see, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700, 750. And so this is an incomplete. So as I save small amounts, then we add. So again, we're up to 750. So now we're going to add the money from our challenges today to see what we can total up to. All right, so again, we're looking to make these $50 slots or 100. All right, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, so money from our Harry Potter challenge has already put us in a position to add $50 more, which puts us at $800. All right, so we have leftover money. We're gonna add our 11 from Pooh. We're gonna add our monies from Jumpstart. And then we're gonna add our monies from Craft Co Budgets, and we're gonna see if we can put 100 in the next slot. So let's see if we have enough to put 100 in. 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And left over, we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And so what we will then do is temporarily place this 21 on this side until we get enough money to either make it 50 or 100. All right, so we were already at 750. We added 100 here, which is 850, and we added 50 here, which is 900. So we are up to $900 in our 100 envelope challenge. Once we hit our first milestone of $1,000, which will be soon, I will empty all of the slots and place it in our high yield savings account in Ally. We have a bucket for these savings. If we're able to stay focused and place small amounts into this binder, we will look at saving over $7,000 with this one binder alone. Whatever your goals are, whether they be small goals or lofty goals, make a plan, write it down, try your hardest, and you can achieve them. There may be bumps along the way, but never give up.